LEGO fans, Jeremy from Sherwood Forest Bricks, and welcome to the first episode of what we're calling Around the Brick. So as we mentioned last week, this is going to be an overview of LEGO releases for the first quarter of 2023. We're going to go over some events for the month of January and February, and we're going to go do a spotlight on a couple builders that we found. So we're going to jump right into the set reviews, and the first one up, and these are in no particular order. For 2023, our first release is 1032. It's the Jazz Club. It's part of the LEGO Creator Expert line. Our first impression of this one is it's kind of falling in line with the how they've been doing the double building lately. The last couple years, they've done side by side. It's not just a singular building. That's presenting an issue for us as a building to expand on that. But all in all, it's pretty good. It's got a lot of detail in it, as you would expect from the expert line. I didn't really see anything new as far as pieces go beyond that scooter. I'm not familiar with that at all, but it looks like a new item to myself. So moving right along, for the last couple years, they've had these not wildflower, but the botanical series, the collection. Personally, it's not been a thing for me. However, I think they're going to keep going with it. And the Wildflower Boutique and the Dried Flower Centerpiece are both highly detailed, and they would look good if you were displaying them as a centerpiece to your table, dining room, or whatnot. So that could be fun. There's also a lot of pieces that come in though in those sets that are good and only have been available in those colors. So as a collector for sets, potentially not something I would be interested in. However, there are a lot of pieces in here that you could use for mock building. And then, of course, 2023 brings us new Minecraft sets. We got the Swamp Adventure, the Bee Cottage, the End Arena, the Frozen Peaks, Panda Haven, the Deep Dark Battle, and I don't know anything about Minecraft. It's not something I've ever been into, but they are a good source of pieces, and a lot of kids seem to like them. I find them in a lot of collections, and they are what they are. But as always, they have additions. All right, next we have the Creator Series, and of course, if you follow the Chinese calendar, this is the year of the rabbit. So with LEGO Creator, they did do a white rabbit this year. I'm a big fan of the 3-in-1s, not usually for the sets themselves, but they are great for pieces. The piece count per price point is usually lower on a 3-in-1, and you get a lot of good pieces. So for those young builders out there, it's a good opportunity to inspire your creativity, because you can get all those pieces and you can see how they work together. For the builder, the collector, they are a good source of pieces, in my opinion. And then, of course, we also had the Space Shuttle, the Vintage Motorcycle, the Exotic Parrot. That one seems to be pretty popular. I've seen a couple of those on YouTube already. The Adorable Dogs, the Beach Camper Van, the Cozy House. I like the houses that they've done with the Creator Series. They are a little bit dialed down in detail from the Creator Experts, but they go along well in the sea if that's your thing. The Cozy House, the Magical Unicorn, the Birdhouse, and that wraps up what I found for the Creators 3-in-1s this year. Okay, we have a couple new brick heads in the catalog for this year. The Disney 100 Celebration brick heads are available. And then, of course, they did a Lord of the Rings series. You got Frodo and Gollum. You got Gandalf and the Balrog, Aragorn and Arwen. And a lot of people like the Brickhead Collector. I have a couple of them. They're fun to build, and they're fun to sit around. But so if you collect those, I'm way too late in the game to start collecting those myself. But if you were collecting them, there you go. I did notice that there was a lot of Friends sets for the release this year for 2023. I'm not sure if they just released all of them for the year right in the beginning, or if we're going to see a lot more. But I did see a lot of Friends. We got the Donut Shop, Paisley's House, the Holiday Camping Trip, Dog Rescue Center, a Heart Lake Downtown Diner, Organic Grocery Store, Autumn's House. Now, I did like how they did the shutters on this one. That's a stud not on top technique. So that's pretty good. And they have the Heart Lake International School. And then the Downtown Flower and Design Stores. The angle roof on this one looks pretty good as far as use of pieces. The triangle tile, the 2x2 triangle tile is used a lot in this set. So if you're looking for those pieces, this would be one of the sets to grab. Mobile tiny house. That's been a big thing the last couple of years is tiny houses. So Lego followed suit with a mobile tiny house. Dog rescue bike. Leon's room. Aaliyah's room. The cat hotel. Hair salon. Skate park. Leo's room. Nova's room. So that wraps up the Friends stuff. You know, I don't know anything about the Friends. There was a lot of there's a lot of good pieces in there. If you're looking for those pinks and purples and light pastels and stuff like that, those sets are always good to grab up for those things. If you're a collector like me for Star Wars, you're going to get all the blacks and grays you need. So if you want other colors, and by all means, there are colors in space sets that you can utilize, that's a great source. I've been buying up a lot of people's collections the last couple of years. There's a lot of Friends pieces in there, so I have a good collection of pinks and purples and stuff like that, and various oranges. So those were a good source for those. All right, the Super Mario series came out with new stuff. We have the Conk-Doors Noggin Bopper, the Ice Mario suit and Frozen World, Lava Wave Ride, Flipperous Snow Adventure, Creativity Toolbox, Peach's Garden Balloon Ride, and I know my nephews have the Mario stuff, and I've never actually played the game myself, but if you're, and there's people that have huge collections of that stuff, so if that's something that you're into, there's a whole bunch coming out this year that you can add to your game. I didn't, Star Wars, obviously, and like I said, these are in no particular order. They got Boba Fett's Starship Microfighter. I'm not a big fan of the Microfighter stuff. I do have a couple of them. So they are a good source for if you're looking for the minifigures for 100%. Then we have the Clone Trooper Battle Pack. I think this was actually, it was listed as a new release for January, but I think it came out in Christmas. And then, of course, the TIE Bomber came out. Now, I will be picking this one up. I do want to do a time-lapse of this one and a comparison because I also have the one from 20 years ago. So it'd be great to do a side-by-side comparison of how they're different. That's all I found for the Star Wars stuff. So along with the release of the movie Avatar, Way of Water, Lego did do a series with Avatar, Way of the Water. And then there's a couple sets for that. They have the, I don't know, now forgive me if I'm pronouncing these wrong, but the Discovery, the Skim Wing Adventure, Mako Submarine, the Makini Reef Home, Payukin and the Tulkin and Crab Suit. And I haven't seen the movie yet. It's in my list of things to do, but I have a million things to do. But there you go. You can go watch the movie and build the sets. All right, there was a handful of Marvel stuff that came out. Yeah, Miles Morales and the Morbius car. Looks like that's a Spider-Man series. I'm not a big fan. I don't follow Marvel. Ghost Rider mech and the bike. The Hulkbuster and Battle of Wakanda. Obviously, this is a smaller version of their Hulkbuster. This is a minifig scale version, and the playability is probably higher on this one. I don't have the actual Hulkbuster myself. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of them. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a collector of the Marvel stuff, but I do have a couple of the pieces. And then, of course, we have the Avengers Quinjet. And then new for the Harry Potter stuff this year, they did all the banners. So you have the Gryffindor house banner, you have the Slytherin house banner, the Ravenclaw house banner, and the Hufflepuff house banner. those look like they're opening sets. They did the books this year or last year. They did the books, and you could open up and play. So of course this year they can same thing. Looks like it's just basically a handful of pieces that open up into a play set with minifigures, so you can set them on your bookshelf, bring them down, play with them, and then put them back when you're done, which is always good for limited space collections. And then, of course, you can add on to your existing buildings with the Hogwarts Room of Requirement, the Tri-Wizard Tournament, and the Black Lake. And that was all I found for the Harry Potter series. Okay, the Monkey Kid series has a couple new sets out this year. They got the Combi Mech, the Maze Dragon Jet, Yellow Tusk Elephant, the Monkey Kids Team Hideout, the Ultra Mech. And that was all I found on that as well. I have not followed the Monkey Kid series. It's not something I collect, but they are new sets. So that kind of wraps up the new sets that I found. This may not be all inclusive. I might find some more. This is obviously just January, and they do releases throughout the year, usually the quarterly. So we'll see an April release too, and I'll keep on that. The one thing I did find is that this was rather difficult to prepare for. As a talking head video, gathering this data for you, it was quite an in-depth work, and to go back through and review. It's really hard. There's a lot of information on there. I did note that as I went through all of these sets, the color turquoise is very paramount in 2023. So I'm not sure if that's just something that sit on my eye, or they actually are trying to use that color more. But along most of the sets, except for the Star Wars stuff and some of the Mario, there was turquoise in a lot of the stuff. Now, which is fine. I do like that color, but I just noticed that. All right, so moving on, we have events. Now, this was even harder for me to get data on because I'm not really a member of the ambassador program, and that was basically where I got the data. But making a venue or giving a video on what is available or what events are coming up is really hard, because the people watching this video could be all over the globe. So I apologize in advance if I didn't include your area, but obviously it's really hard. And that's just a snapshot. In North Dakota, we have a couple things coming up this month. In January, there's a Lego Club here in the Minot Public Library. And then I know, so the Twin Cities, they have the Greater Midwest Lego Train Club, and that's they're having a public display, and that's on the 14th of January, so you might be able to get that in the next couple days. And then that was really all I found for January in the area. There were still ongoing online events for December, and I didn't really want to talk about those. But January was kind of really short. There wasn't really a lot of stuff, at least in our country. There was stuff overseas, but there's not a translator for the ambassador program, so I was seeing that stuff in the other countries in their language and not having the ability to read it easily, which is fine because I couldn't speak it anyways. I just chalked that up that January is kind of a slow month because we just had all these events in December, so January is probably a slow month anyways. But going forward into February, we have a couple things here in North Dakota. There's the North Dakota First Lego League Championship Tournament. I think it's already been available, but I think that's where the judging and stuff. But anyways, that's held in Grand Forks on the 11th of February, and the theme this year was energy. So North Dakota is huge in energy, and so that. And also here in Minot, the Minot Public Library has the Robot Show and Tell, and that's a teen event on the 2nd of February. So if you are into the robotics section and you're in North Dakota, both of those are in February. And then I also found, if you're in Northern California, there's a Chico Toy Brick Builder Show on the 18th of February. That is nowhere near anywhere I've ever been, but that's a public event. And then I only found 2 train shows in the month of February, and they're both on the 18th, one in Florida and that's the Real Rail Train Show, and that's in Bradenton, Florida, on the 18th. And then the Wisconsin Lug has a train layout that they're displaying in Madison at the Madison City Train Show on the 18th as well. And both of those are 18th to the 19th, so it's across the weekend. And that's pretty much all I found. If you're interested in local events, I always suggest that you contact your local lug, and that's a Lego users group. And there's all over the country you can find them. So if you have a, I don't know if we have one in North Dakota actually, but usually for the higher metropolitan areas, there is a lug, and you can get with them and find out what they do in your area. All right, so for the builder spotlight, I perused the internet on a couple of sites, and I came across 3 builders that I want to showcase. Hey, the first one is Carter Witz, and his build that caught my eye was Lyle the Fisherman, and basically that's a Norseman theme mock that he built. I really do like the it's a larger vignette style where it's focused on one single scene, but the way he did his dark green leaves was fairly attractive. He also included the snow effects with the dead twigs, the water, and lots of different snot techniques here. The tile gaps that he has on the boards, or for the boards on the building, look amazing. So that was Carter Witz, and I will link his page below. The next one we had up was from a builder named Jayfa, and his build for this one is called Master Oogway, and of course we all recognize that from Kung Fu Panda, and I thought that was just very unique on how he did his build. A lot of different elements and colors went into this, and the use of pieces was pretty amazing. So that just goes to show what you can do with the product. All right, and then the last one that I found was by Lego Nuts, and his contribution was building himself out of Lego over and over again. So you can see that the larger creation has a smaller creation, which has a smaller, and it goes down. It's 4 levels. And I've seen his work before, and he does a lot of his stuff is all these scenes, and he is amazing work. And go to his page and take a look for yourself. And yes, I'll link all the Flickr accounts will be below. All right, well, that wraps up our Around the Brick for January of 2023. We talked about the releases coming out from LEGO official sets. We did a review of events coming up in the January and February time frame. I wanted to go to March, but I figured we could cover those in February's event. And then we did a builder showcase. And of course, I do want to showcase some of our subscribers. So if you want to send your work in and a brief description of whatever you have built, you can see the link below and send it to my email, and hopefully we can showcase your work on the channel as well. So going forward, we'll like to keep doing that. We'll do 3 builders that I find on the internet and showcase their work. Thanks for joining us.